Good evening, everyone. I am N.Vithushan, one of the regional ambassador for the Northern Province, Sri Lanka of IAAC. And I am currently a fourth year undergraduate student who is following BSc Honors in Physics. And I'm studying at Faculty of Science at University of Peradeniya. So today, I'm going to do a session on an introduction to IAAC. So, my dear friends, welcome to an introduction to IAAC. Shall we start the session? I want this session to be somewhat interactive. So, please say, shall we start the session? You can put it in the chat box. Come on, I need more confirmations from the participants. Shall we start the session? Okay, so let's begin. So, an introduction to IAAC. So, you guys may be wondering, what is IAAC? So, what is really IAAC? Well, the answer to that question is IAAC means International Astrophysics and Astronomy Competition. Okay, now you know what is the purpose of this event. So the purpose of this event is to get some introduction to these valuable opportunities the students have, an international astrophysics and astronomy competition. Well, the word international says a lot. So this is a very big opportunity for you guys. So let me start off with a simple question. So what is astrophysics? I know there are different people from different background join this meeting. So if I ask these questions, so different people may say different kind of answers. I can get tons of answers for this question. So, but I want to know, what I really want to know is, what is astrophysics in the point of view of a school student? So imagine yourself as a school student and answer this question. What is astrophysics? Okay, now you are a school student. Okay, and someone come to you and ask you, what is astrophysics? How will you answer this question? Can I know some answers from you guys? So if you want to answer, you can unmute yourself and you can answer this question. Otherwise, put it in the chat box, please. I really need some answers to this question. Then only I can move forward with the session. Come on, 24 participants join this session. You can answer this question. Like a simple definition for astrophysics. If someone asked you what is astrophysics during your school time, what will you say? So if you are hesitant to answer, shall I give some clue to you, like stars, sky, or something like that? Okay, we got one answer. It's a space-related physics. Yeah, actually, it's really correct. One of the correct answer. Padma Priyan. So what about others? Yeah, a study about space. Yes, once again, it's also a correct answer. And then, so just think like you are a grade 9 student or grade 10 student. I think in the science syllabus of grade 9, there's a session about stars and constellations and stuff. So during that time, one person come to you and ask you, what do you think about astrophysics? Then how will you answer? Okay, we got some answers like space, like that. So it is actually a correct answer. So if someone asks me when I am grade 9 student, what is astrophysics? I will answer like astrophysics is the study of stars, sun, like that. So that is a very simple definition. I will answer the school as a school student. So right now, so what is really an astrophysics means. So, astrophysics means a branch of space science to understand the universe and our place within it. So, it's actually a branch of astronomy. So, when you apply physics to the astronomy, then it is called astrophysics. So, in this astrophysics, we use so many different kinds of physics concepts like classical mechanics, quantum mechanics, thermodynamics, and almost every uh, chapters of the physics are used in this astrophysics. So now you know what is IAAC, the purpose of our event, and also a simple definition for the astrophysics. So without any delay, let's move on about this IAAC. So this is a competition and this is organized by an organization with the same name, IAAC. So what is really our vision, mission and values? So when it comes to astrophysics, from the school's children to university students, there are many people who likes to follow astrophysics. But unfortunately, in countries like developing countries, even in our country, there is a lack of facilities and knowledge to gain and study astrophysics. So this IAAC organization, we came to a aim that to make this astrophysics knowledge accessible to all the countries, regardless of their background, school, or institutions. So it is like providing a sophisticated educational program to students, parents, and also teachers to get involved in the process of shaping our future. So our main aim is to make new researchers and scientists and engineers who likes to work in IAAC, not only from the very developed countries like USA, Russia, or Australia. We aim to get people from every nations in this world. Like even our Sri Lanka. From Sri Lanka also, you can become as one of the researcher in the future. So this is like a one of the place to encourage students to study about space and science. So this is our mission, vision, and values. And what really make IAAC unique? Well, the name has itself, the internationality. Of course, this is a global competition, so anyone can access to this competition. And other thing is, you only need to have a device with an internet connection. It may be a laptop or tablet, anything. So digital accessibility makes this competition as a unique one. And other than that, experimental format, real world research, and adjusted difficulties are some of the unique features of IAAC. So adjusted difficulty means if you see the papers and structures of IAAC in every years, it is based on their ongoing researches and the difficulty level will be adjusted in each and every round. And finally, last not least, the well-structured network. It is one of the most unique features of IAAC. This IAAC has an ambassador network all over the world, including many regions. For example, I am one of the IAAC ambassador. So I am the ambassador for the region of Northern Province. Like that, in Sri Lanka also, you can find 5 or 6 ambassadors so far. And like that, in the world, there are tons of ambassadors there. And other than that, there are so many teachers and also the alumni network and the past participants of IAAC are well structured and networked. So this makes an IAAC a unique one. So now you know what is IAAC and what are our missions and values and what are the uniqueness of IAAC. So now is the time to see about this competition. So when it comes to the IAAC competition, you may wonder who can actually participate in this competition. Well, there are 3 categories in our competition. The first one is junior category. So in that one, the grade 10 and the persons who are below grade 10 can participate. That means the people who are less than 16 years age can participate in this competition. The next category is youth category. So the one who are above 16 years but less than 19 years can participate. When it comes to Sri Lanka, it is mostly like 11th to 13th grade students can participate in this youth category. And the final category is senior category. So this is for first year college students and university students and higher, of course. So if you are above 19 years old, you can compete in the senior category, and which each levels and categories, the number of points you have to get may increase. So now you got a basic idea about IAAC. So if you have any questions so far, you can put it in the chat box now. Do you have any questions? Or are you clear with the things we talked so far? S- Okay, fine. So shall we move on to the next session? So let's move on to the next session. So now we know who can participate in this IAC competition. But you may wonder, why should I participate in this competition like that? So the reason is, first, it is a valuable opportunity for you all. So one thing for sure, opportunities are the valuable and most valuable gift in this world. So it is rare to get an opportunity, and this is the one of the golden opportunity you are having. So if you have an opportunity, my best advice is, it is not only about this competition, it is about all the things in your life. If you get an opportunity, just grab it and try it. And at least it will give you something in your life. And you will at least learn some lessons from it. So when it comes to IAAC, let's forget about the life. Let's only focus on IAAC right now. So why should we participate in this valuable opportunity? So the first thing is, you may be an enthusiastic person about astrophysics or astronomy or cosmology. So this is a platform and perfect chance to test your knowledge. So if you participate in this competition, you can check how much you really know about this subject area, and also what's your place among the world. So this is a worldwide competition. So there are so many people from the different countries and different world will participate in this competition. So if you compete with them, you will know where you stand. So the next one is, of course, the prizes and awards. So in this competition, there are prizes for best students in each category, the first, second, and third place. And other than that, for every national award for the people who are participate from each countries. And for the finalist, there is a silver, gold, and bronze medals are there. So these are based on how you perform in the final. And also, if you even participate in one round, like qualification round or pre-final round or final round, if you participate in any round, and if you successfully fully able to pass that round, you will get an official participation certificate. And the most important thing is, you can put this certificate in your LinkedIn account, or you can share it, and you can even attach with your CV, and it will be a valuable addition for your CV, of course. So these are the reasons why you should participate in IAAC. But in this year, we have a special opportunity for you guys. Yeah, in this year, the winners from the each categories are going to get a telescope signed by some Nobel Prize laureate and astronaut. So, astronaut Frank Devine and Nobel Prize laureate Francisco Inglet and Nobel Prize laureate Michael Mayer are going to sign some telescopes, and it will be awarded for the winners of each categories. So, if you try hard, maybe you will get a chance to win this telescope. So, it is up to you to how you are going to prepare for this competition and how you are going to participate enthusiastically for this competition. So telescope, it is one of the speciality of this year's edition. So now you know about what is IAAC and why IAAC is unique, and why you should participate in IAAC. So let's move on to the most important session, the process and rounds of IAAC. So there are three processes. The first one is qualification round, and then followed by pre-final round, and finally the grand final round. So in the qualification round, this is the first stage, and it is consist of 5 astronomy problems, A, B, C, D, and E. So these problems cover the wide range of topics, and it is already uploaded in the website. You just have to download the problem, and you can use digital medias, books, and everything, and you can answer those questions, and you can submit it there. And then if you successfully pass the qualification round, then you will be selected into the pre-final round and followed by that, the final round. So here is a catch for the pre-final and final round. So if you are willing to participate in the pre-final round and final round, you have to do a registration there, which will cost 11 euros. So only for the pre-final and final round, not for the qualification round. Okay. So why this cost? Because of the they are giving a huge amount of prizes for the finalist, and also the cost to organize this competition. Since this is a non-profitable organization, they ask a registration fee for the pre-final and final round. So when it comes to the pre-final round, this is consist of 6 problems with varying difficulties and points and subject. There are 3 types of problems, and 2 basic problems and 2 advanced problem and 2 research problem. So 2 research problem, this is the most important thing in the pre-final round. So they will give you 2 research papers, 2 or 3 research papers, and you have to read those papers and you have to answer those questions based on those research papers. So these researches will be an ongoing researches. So this will give you an exploration about what is the state of astrophysics right now and how the researches are conducted in the contemporary world. So, and then if you got selected to the final round, and there will be a single exam with 20 multiple choices, and a finalist has 60 seconds for each question, and there are 4 possible answers for the each question, and you have to answer those questions based on that. So in the final round, you have to turn on your camera or you have to record the whole session and you have to submit it to make the eligibility or like that. So they are very strict in the final round to make sure there is no cheating happening in the final round. So in the final round, you might need a teacher to supervise you. It may be a lecturer or a school teacher or anyone. So that is for the final round. Then this is the timeline of our competition for the 2025. So the first qualification round submission deadline is 4th of July 2025, which is actually so near. And then after that, they will announce the result on 21st of July. And followed by that, if you are willing to participate in the pre-final round, you can register to it. There is a time period for you to take the decision. So after 12th of August, the registration deadline will be closed. And then the research problems will be released on 14th of August 2025. And you will have just 3 days to answer those questions, and you have to submit them by 17th of August 2025. And finally, if you got selected for the final round will be held on 9th September. And followed by that, they will announce the result within 1 week, or maximum sometimes it may go for the 2 weeks as well. So right now, I think you got some basic idea about the structure of this competition as well. So do you have any doubt? Now is your time to ask. So are you clear with every process and rounds about IAAC? Or do you need some explanation on a specific part? If you have any doubts on some specific part, okay. So how to attempt to the qualification round? Okay, you can wait. So this I will answer this question in the later part of this session. So what about others? Do you have any doubts about some topics? So if you are good, we can move on to the next session. Are we good to go to the next session? Shall I move? Or do you need any explanation? Come on, guys. Yes or no? Ah, okay. One person said yes. What about others? At least you can react it, like give a thumbs up or something like that. Ah, okay. So since most of the person have said yes, let's move on to the next session. So now you know about IAAC competitions and the rounds, and also about the deadlines. So as one of the participants already asked, you need to know about submission guidelines, how you are going to attend this competition and how you are going to submit this competition. Okay. So I'll take you step by step through this submission guidelines. So first of all, just type IAAC space in Google. So if you type IAAC space, sorry for the disturbance about the external noise. So if you type IAAC space, you will be directed to this page, like IAAC's page. So here you can see this homepage of IAAC website. And in the very corner, you can find an submission page there. So when you click that submission, you will be directed to the submission page. And in that page, there is a first sentence. Here you can submit your solutions to the qualification round 2025. So here there is an external link like download PDF. So when you click that link, you will be taken down to the this edition's qualification round paper. Here you can see there is a 5 problems there. You can attempt those problems and you can submit those problems in the page I mentioned earlier. So when it comes to the submission, there are a few things I would like to share with you. So first of all, you have to fill the basic details of your full name, date of birth, country, city, and your email address. And for the IAAC submission, you need to have a separate email address with you. For example, if you have a email address with your name, so you can type that email address in that name and you have to set a password for your IAAC account. So here you can set a password. Then you will get a relevant email address to the mail you have provided and you can click that mail and you can access your IAAC account using that link they provided in that mail. So when you do the submission, you have to put your school or university name and also you have to fill these basic informations. And then this is the place where you have to submit your solutions here. You have to choose the file and you have to submit. You can either submit it as a docs, docx, zip file, jpeg, png, or anything. So while doing this submission, there is an optional thing like your IAAC ambassador. So if you have heard this IAAC competition from one of the ambassador, you can select that ambassador from this list. For example, now you have attended my session. So when you are submitting, if you want to select my name there, you have to scroll this one and you can find my name there. For example, wait, okay. So my name is N.Vithushan. Okay. So in here, you can select my name and you can, while doing the submission, you can select my name. So this will give a value addition as an ambassador to me. And also for the next session, how did you hear about IAAC? For that one, you can select whether teacher, email, ambassador, social media, or anything. So if you want to select, you can select. Otherwise, it's just an optional thing. After that, read the rules and data policy and submit your submission using this link. So when you click the submit the solution, you will be directed and your submission will be there. Okay. So this is how you can attempt the IAAC and this is how you can do the submission to this competition. So guys, do you have any questions regarding this one? Because this is the most important part here. So if you missed anything and do you need a clear explanation, just put it in the chat box. So are you clear with this or do you need an explanation, more explanation regarding this? Do you need you don't need a clear, more explanation? Are you fine with this? What about others, guys? There are so many participants. We need to. Okay, is this site open in phone or desktop? Actually, you can access it in anywhere. Like you can even use, if you have a browser like Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, or any browser, Opera Mini. If you have this browser, You can just type IAAC space and you will be directed to this page and you can access it from any devices. So are you clear? So what about others? Do you have any questions regarding this? Okay, if you don't have any questions, we can move on to the next part. So even if you have any questions, you can ask me via the chat box or you can personally message me. Okay. So now it's a time for a story. So there are numerous participants who have participated in this competition. Even from our countries, there are many participants participated annually. So this is the story of a participant from the last year. She was one of the students from our faculty and she get an enthusiasm during the last year and she participated in this competition and it was a very good experience for her. So it's her time to tell her story about how she felt and what was her experience during the last year. Miss Aganita Sindhilnathan, the platform is yours to share your story. So are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Ah,
Can you
yeah,
hear
okay.
me?
Yeah, you are audible and you are audible.
I hope I'm visible too. Am I
Visibility.
visible?
Wait. Yeah, you are audible and visible. You can share your story.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. I'm Aganita. So I'm from Science Faculty of University of Peradeniya. So I'm now in the second year. Uh, for this here I'm going to share my experience as a short story because I know it's 9 p.m. right. You will feel tired, and of course, at the end of this section, you can ask me any doubts regarding this competition. So last year, like around the April, that time, the April something, the mid of April was the deadline. So during that time, we got us holidays. So I wanted to do something like beyond the academic activities, like an extracurricular activities. In my holiday time, so it was a very long period of holiday. I can remember it's 3 months of holidays, and one day I got a this link from Vidushan. So who is the, as he mentioned, who is the IAAC ambassador. Like he motivated me to like, why don't you participate in this section? Because I'm so interested in these type of celestial bodies as well as the stars and those things. And so that's why during that time I'm free also, then why don't we give a try like that. So it's about only the as he mentioned, it's the first round one is only the 5 questions, right? And they usually allow 60 days, so they will upload the questions before the 60 days, and you have to submit like in the deadline. So before that you have to create an account also. So for that, uh, yeah, hope you can hear me. So I have like it's like an open competition, right? So of course you can refer anything, like refer other website, a trustable website, and of course you can refer some books also. So I have, and as you can see, the most of the questions are related to the current concept, maybe the current invention or the current trend or the current like the research activities done by the NASA, like those things. So usually you'll get those information in the news channels also, right? It's pretty easy to do those questions. So I don't have any hope like when submitting those things. I just submitted like I want to have like just for my uh, like for a satisfaction, I have submitted. And after that, they have announced the results after about 1 week. So when I when I saw that email, I was so excited. Like I have selected because I'm not sure. I'm from because the thing is I'm from bioscience, so I don't have any proper background, right? So if you're a physical science student, you have like got some idea because you study this section in your academic also. But I didn't study anything, but I just trusted myself because I had a huge passion for this universe and the celestial body, this space related things. And of course you have to complete the next that question set of questions within 3 or 4 days. So that was an open question, right? So you can refer any digital media, of course you can read any books related those things. And the second paper is related to some research article, so they will upload that research article also. So you have to read the 2 research article. Of course, a research article reading skill also very important for us for the as an undergraduate, I believe. So those are the very current research done by the NASA or any other most important space station. I mean, the countries which have this most important space station, those things. And that was the exam, so I have submitted it. But that time also I don't have any hope like I would get selected to the final level. And after maybe 1 week or something, I got a results and got an email like you have selected for this final round like that. So I'm super excited for that. I need a supervisor. So for during that time they had a rule, like I mean the last day they had a rule like you have to have a supervisor to supervise you. Nowadays they have changed like that. You can switch on the video, so that's why they can see you what you're doing, that you're not you're doing any unauthorized things, like not not using the Google or any other stuffs. So last year I wanted to have a supervisor for me. So I was looking for someone like as Vidishan told, you can have a lecturer from the university also. So when I contacted Dr. Sivakumar, he also was super excited and told me, yes, of course I can be your supervisor. And of course he gave me his one of the book, like why don't you read this book, it's very basic. Of course you are from bioscience, right? So this book will help you to understand about these things. And I would say Dr. Sivakumar was very helpful during that day, during that for my final competition. Of course I read his book because it's very very attractive. And since I am from the bioscience students, when I saw those pictures of stars and the universe, I got so excited to read those things. So I read those things. And of course, as in you can when near the end of this final competition, they will put what you have to refer for this competition. For in that, they told me, like they have mentioned in the website, like you have to study the 2 research papers which they have provided in the round 2. So since it's it's a recent research paper, and it has for me it has that they have discovered some different type of the stars in the Saturn, like that I can remember that research paper. So I have read and I have made some short notes, those things, because to study and those things. And for the time limit, for the time duration for me, according to Sri Lanka time, I had my examination from 6 to 7 p.m. like that. So you have to, there's a time limit. You have to log in to that page within that period of time, and you have to it has an automatic time counter, so it will count around for the 1 hour. We have for 20 questions and 1 hour. So it's going to be the multiple choice question. Of course, these questions are, of course, they were related to these 2 research papers, as well as the these stars and the planets. And of course, don't forget to study about the recent discoveries also. So they were related to recent discoveries, like those, there are so much of past papers in the website. So when you're going through the past, that more related to the recent discoveries. Maybe the recent discoveries, like a 1 year period, it's very important for this the questions. You have to refer those things. And of course I have done with that. And that time my sister also with me, and she helped me with these procedures also. And after that, I can remember I got the results after 1 week or something like that. And of course, I got a like Vidishan told me there's a three important places for like there are many first place, second place, third place, or else you can get the best results for a country, or else you can go for a gold or silver or bronze certificates. In that range, I got a silver certificate. So I can remember that day. I was so happy and so excited that day because but I believe from that from my experiences, if you have a passion for a subject like anything, you can attain. Because I'm from bioscience also, I don't know anything about this, not much knowledge. Of course, I studied physics for the A levels, but not much about the things, astronomy in the first year or second year. So, but the passion gave me to go to this competition, and of course, it gave me like the silver certificate also. Of course, I have to thank Vidushan also, because when I was telling that I'm going to participate in the session and I'm going to be the going to participate in the final session, he gave me his notes as well, and I have referred every part of that note also. I mean, his lecture slides. It was so helpful also. And I hope, and I'll thank my sister, as well as I have to say a big thanks to Dr. Sivakumar, because he helped me a lot with this competition also. And he also like very like I can remember he was so proud, and he was so very happy about this achievement. And I thank everyone, and I hope you can understand, and I hope I didn't speak for much time. Thank you. And if you have any doubts, please ask me.
Thank you, Ms. Aganita Nandanan, for your valuable insights and sharing your experience. And I hope the participant gained some insights from her experience. And sometimes you may feel like you want to participate right now, like that. So, with that one, so let's move on to the final session of our meeting. So it's about one of the most important session of our meeting. So welcome to the final session. This useful subject areas to cover. So I have prepared a small IAAC preparation guide for you guys. So I am going to give a brief introduction for some of the most interesting topics from the astrophysics, and also some of the most important topics that may ask in the IAAC program. So without any further ado, let's move on to the topics. So first of all, these are the most important sectors that will be there for IAAC. So first, the first one is our solar system. The next one is laws of motion, and followed by that radiation laws, the parallax and angular size, stars and luminosity, galaxies and cosmology, theory of relativity, constellations, and finally the telescopes. These are the overview of most important topics that may ask in the IAC competitions. So while I am doing each sessions, if you have any doubts, put it in the chat box about these topics. And if you want to know about few things, you can also ask in the chat box as well. And also, I want this session to be an interactive session. So if I ask any questions, please answer in the chat box. Then only it will be like an interactive session. Otherwise, it will be like a lecture. Like I'm just talking and you guys are just listening, and you will be forgetting at the end of the meeting. So are we good to go? Shall we start the final session? I need some enthusiasm from you guys. Okay. Thank you for your response, Vishagan and Padmapriyan. So let's move on to the final session of our introduction to IAAC. So in this final session, the first thing we are going to cover is our solar system. Well, I think you guys already know about what is our solar system, because the blue marvel, the Earth, is situated in the solar system along with 8 planets there. So this is the most important topic actually. So in the solar system, you need to know about terrestrial planets and Jovian planets. So terrestrial planet means the rocky planets, the first four planets of our solar system. If you consider their surface, it will be made up of hard rocks and stuff. That's why they are called as terrestrial planets. And the other four planets, they are called as Jovian planets because these are basically the gas bubble, gas giants. So these planet comprises of different types of gases and they are comparatively a large planets compared to the terrestrial planets. So this is the basic introduction to our solar system. So other than that, you need to know about natural and artificial satellites of each planet. So when it comes to the natural and artificial satellites, so if it is an Earth, you know what is the satellite of our Earth? The moon. Of course, the moon is the satellite of our Earth. So shall I ask you a question? So what is the largest satellite in our solar system? So if you know the answer, you can put it in the chat box. So what is the largest satellite in our solar system? So while you are thinking about it, I'll move on to the next session, okay? So then, after the satellites, you need to know about asteroid belts, Kuiper belts, and Oort clouds. So when it is come to the asteroid belts, it is a region between Mars and Jupiter. So it is full of so many rocky asteroids, the debris and stuff. So Kuiper belt, it is the exo solar system region. So it is consists of so many comets and icy objects. So since the sunlight is far beyond the reach there, those places are extremely cold. So there is a possibility that every objects in this region are frozen, and sometimes there's a speculation that how the water in our earth formed is the reason is one of the comet from the Kuiper belt actually collided with earth many years ago and it formed the H2O here. So that one of the speculation about the formation of H2O in our planet Earth. So these are the some of the things they can ask about our solar system. And of course, the Oort clouds is the cloud area that cover our entire solar system. So I asked you a question, so no one has answered it. So I'll answer for this question, okay? Okay, Ganymede. Padmabrian, actually, it's the correct answer. So Ganymede, the moon of the Jupiter, is the largest satellite in our solar system. So can everyone give him a virtual round of applause for the correct answer for the Padmabrian? Okay, like this question, they may ask some abstract questions there. For example, most of the people believe Mercury is the hottest planet in the solar system. The reason is it is just close to the sun. That is why they consider Mercury is the hottest planet in our solar system. But actually, it is not. The Venus is the most hottest planet in our solar system due to its surface features and the atmosphere. So these are some of the conceptual questions they can ask about our solar systems. And of course, you need to know about the surface features of each and every planet and also the surface features of some famous moons like Ganymede, Io, and Titans like that. You need to know about the surface features of these moons as well. So these things might be asked in IAAC, and if you go through the past papers of IAAC, you may find a lots of questions regarding these subjects. So this is the brief introduction to the solar system. And next, shall we move on to the next session? So the next one is the stars and the luminosity. Well, the luminosity is the total amount of energy emitted per unit time through a unit area. And this plays an important role in researches based on stars. Basically, most of the researches are based on this luminosity. So from the ancient time, I mean from the 19th century, they have started these kind of researches. So in the research papers, in the pre-final round, you may get some paper related to the luminosity. There is a possibility there. So the spectral types mean there are 7 distinguished spectral types of stars based on their luminosity. They are O, B, A, F, G, K, L, M. So these spectral types are have different distinct characteristics, and you need to know about these spectral types and the characteristics while preparing for this exam. And the next one is HR diagram. HR diagram is the Hertzsprung-Russell diagram. So here, these spectral types are plotted against luminosity, and the stellar life cycle is explained well in the HR diagram. So when it comes to stellar life cycle, it is a life cycle of a star from the birth until its death. So it includes so many phases like main sequence stars, and then red giant, blue giants, and of course the white dwarf, neutron stars, and black holes. These are the things included in the stellar life cycle of a star. So here is another question for you guys. So in the stellar life cycle, what is the place our sun is there? What is the type of star our sun is? Is it blue giant or red giant or main sequence star or white dwarf? So you can answer to this question in the chat box as well. So then we need to know about apparent and absolute magnitude of stars as well. These are the basic topics you have to cover about stars. And the next session is constellations. So these constellations plays an important role since the ancient Greek and Rome times. The people use this constellation for their navigation purposes. For example, the Southern Cross. Always it will be there in the southern. Like that, there are so many constellations, and among them, there are 88 official constellations have been identified so far. So in each year's exam, there is at least one question about a pattern about the constellation. You will find it in the final exam of IAAC. So here I have put you two constellations here. So if anyone interested, you can identify those constellation and put it in the chat box. So before that, I already asked you a question about the sun. So actually the sun is a main sequence star. So main sequence star means the gravitational collapse of that star will be balanced by the pressure gradient of the star. That means the nuclear fission reactions happen in the star is active, and due to that reactions, it emits the light. So the sun is in the main sequence star. And actually most of the stars, most of the stars in our universe are included in this main sequence star right now in this age of the universe. So if you know the answer for this question, like here is one constellation and here is the other constellation. So if you find out the answer, you can put it in the chat box. So due to the time limit, I'll move on to the next session. So the next session is telescope. So telescope include so many different types of telescopes like reflecting telescope, refracting telescope. These are the optical telescopes, and then space telescope, ground-based observatories. And among this telescope, you need to know about so many key parameters of this telescope like focal length, objective length, eyepiece, and eyepiece, objective length, and curvature like that. So Padmapiriyan actually he has answered one correctly. The second one is Scorpio. It is the correct answer. So the first one is actually Taurus. The first constellation is the Taurus constellation there. You can find the V shape there at the top part of the constellation. That is the Taurus constellation. If it is a Gemini, it is like a twin brother. It is like there will be not V shape at the top part. There will be like a zigzag or something like that. There will be a small difference between Taurus and the Gemini there. So let's start from the place where we left. Okay. In this telescope, you need to know about space telescope particularly. Why these space telescopes are important? So when you take the measurements from the ground-based observatories, the light has to pass through the different layers of atmosphere like troposphere, stratosphere, thermosphere, mesospheres, and in these spheres, the light will be attenuated, and there will be so many dust particles in these atmospheric layers, and this may cause the scattering of the light waves. So due to that, the ground-based observatories collect some data. You may find some inaccurate accuracy there. It is not much of inaccuracy, but small amount of inaccuracy. But in order to get a better and precise data, they started to build the space telescopes. For example, Hubble telescope, the Kepler telescope. There are so many telescopes that are orbiting around our Earth, and there is a specific path and orbit for the space telescopes as well. So you need to have a basic idea about these telescopes and the parts of the telescope. And if you look at the paper, this year paper, here you can find the first question is actually based on a reflected telescope. So they have asked about the different parts of the telescopes in this question. So if you read some books and stuff, you can definitely answer these questions correctly. Okay. So this is just a qualification round exam. In the advanced exam, you will find and you will get to know about different types of telescopes there. And the next session is galaxies and cosmology. Actually, this is a very big session actually. So in here, you need to know about, I'll tell you some points there, okay? I can't cover everything there. So I'll just give you a ground and basic ideas about galaxies and cosmology. So you need to know about types of galaxies like spiral galaxies, elliptical galaxies, and irregular galaxies. And you need to know and you need to know how to differentiate these types of galaxies. How you can differentiate spiral and elliptical and irregular galaxy from a diagram. I mean, if the photo is given, you are able to distinguish them. And also, you need to know about Milky Way. So, Milky Way is a significant place in our galaxy because it is the place where we are located. Our solar system is located in the Milky Way. So, you need to know about this Milky Way. And also, you need to know about Hubble's law. So, this is a law that explains the expansion of our universe, the rate of expansion of our universe. And do you know how our universe began? What is the theory that tells about the origin of the universe? There are numerous theories about it. Among them, the most infamous theory is Big Bang theory. A universe originated from a very tiny little particle. That is called Big Bang theory. So you need to have some basic ideas about Big Bang theory and also dark energy and dark matter. These are the two most interesting topics many people search on the internet. So, dark energy, an invisible energy or force that drives our universe to accelerate and expand. And the dark matter, the invisible mass that made up the most part of our universe. So, these are the fascinating topics, and these are the topics where the questions might come in IAAC exams. So, until now, do you have any doubts or are you good? Shall we move on to the next session? So let's move on to the next topic. So the next topic is the theory of relativity. I know all of you guys know this man in this picture. He is the famous scientist of 20th century, Sir Albert Einstein. So, you know, his contributions are immense to the physics and to the world. So his theories, the most two important theories of his are special theory of relativity and general theory of relativity. So in this special theory of relativity, you need to know about length contraction and time dilation. And of course, the general theory of relativity, it is about the curvature of space and time. So it explains about the bending of light. So after this bending of light, there comes the fascinating topic, the black holes. Of course, you can explain the black holes using the special theory and general theory of relativity, like how a massive and big object bends the space and time curvature. So you need to have not so deep idea about this, just a basic idea about these topics. And also you might need some knowledge about the paradox like twin paradox and the grandfather paradox, and this is like a fiction or fantasy or science or like that. So if you go to the YouTube or any other platform, you will find a tons of videos and fascinating stuff about these things. So you can refer them and you can get prepared for the IAAC exam. And the final part, the equations, of course, the physics and mathematics, they are like a inseparable twins here. So in these exams also, you need to know and have some basic ideas about some most important equations of physics, like Newton's law of motions, like first law, second law, and third law. And other than that, Kepler's law of motion. It's explained the orbitals of the every planets that's orbiting around the sun or any stars like that. And other than that, you need to have a basic ideas about radiation's law, like black body radiation. Black body is an idealized object that reflects all the lights it absorbs. So you need to know about what is black body and Stephen Boltzmann law and Wien's law. And other than that, you need to know about parallax and angular size. So parallax is to use to measure the stellar distance. So if you want to measure some very far away object, you can use this parallax method or the physical size estimations using the angular size method. So these are some of the basic ideas and equations and theories you should know when you are preparing for the IAAC exams. So that marks the end of our last session. So if you have any questions, now it is your time. You can unmute yourself and you can ask here, or you can repeat it in the chat box. So you can ask about the theories as well. And if you need more information, you can look at this screen. You can find my telephone number and email address and FB page there. So you can contact either in one of them and you can reach me there. So I'm very happy to help. If you really need any assistance about studying, or if you need any notes or for the preparations, I can really help you with that. So if you have any questions, you can ask right now. And in the meantime, so how do you feel about this session? I need some valuable feedback about this session, because then only I can improve myself in the next session about what are the things, what are the positiveness about this session, and what are the things that need to be improved in this session. So if you have any feedback, you can put it in the chat box, or you can either contact me and provide the valuable feedbacks to me to improve myself actually. So I'll wait like 1 or 2 minutes to answer your questions. So since you don't have any questions, I think this is the time to wrap up our session. So before that, so memories are the ones that keep us alive. So making a memory is one of the most important part of our session. So shall we, if you are in a position to switch on the camera, please switch on the camera. Let's take a group photo here. So if you are not in a position, it's fine. If you are in a position, you can switch on the camera so we can take a group photo. So I'll give you 1 or 2 minutes. And in these special occasions, so while taking the photo, please put on a smile and give you a, if you want to give a pose, you can give a pose as well. Okay. When I say count 1 to 3, give a nice smile. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Stay there. Okay. there are two tiles here, so let's stay. So in this special occasion, I would like to thank few people here. So first of all, I would like to thank all the participants who has joined with us today. So your participations and your active discussion made this session as a successful one. And thank you very much for joining with me today. And last but not least, I would like to thank every one of my friends who helped me to make this program as a successful one. Your valuable feedbacks and your valuable contributions were were very helpful for in making this session as a successful one. And also in this special occasion, I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to one of my lecturer, Dr. Kabila Vijayaratna, for joining with me today. And thank you very much, sir, for joining with me today. And once again, finally, thank you very much for everyone for joining with me today and make this program as a successful one. So good night and have a nice day.